There's only 60 seconds in.
Seriously.
It's 5:59.
There you go.
So you're on at 6 o'clock now, okay? All right, our meeting is called to order. Good evening, welcome everybody. First thing we're going to do is just have everybody introduce themselves here. We're going to start right over here today.
Lori Moore,
Alan Martone.
Dawn Robinson,
Larry Burns. Stuart Miller.
Here we have Scott Levesco, solicitor, Marty Lasalle, our zoning officer, and most important of everybody, Chloe, you know, who keeps us in writing, right? Okay. I have to read this into the record as we do each time, so please bear with me. By the way, I'm Larry Chopper, Chair. The Zoning Board of Review has established procedural rules and guidelines for the administration of applications and the conduct of its meetings and public hearings. The rules of procedure amended in December of 2021 are posted on the town's website and are available here tonight. The Zoning Board hears applications for relief from the provisions of the zoning ordinance and renders its decisions based on specific facts found in the documents and testimony submitted. It is the applicant's burden to prove that relief from the zoning ordinance is warranted. To do so, an applicant must provide evidence that each criterion of the approval listed in section 260-33 for variances and section 260-34 for special use permits have been met. If you are appealing the decision of the zoning officer, administrative officer, or planning board, you are here to convince the board that the officer's or board's decision was in error, either procedurally or legally. This evening, we have 2 items to address, and we do not take up a new item after 9:00 p.m. Each application shall be heard in a manner that permits the board to obtain and consider the evidence in an orderly and meaningful manner. Testimony begins with the zoning official's summary of the application and his recommendation. The application on all documentation submitted by the applicant prior to the meeting will be marked as exhibits and made part of the record. Applicants should assume that the members of the zoning board have reviewed all the materials submitted with the application. Tonight's presentation by the applicant should be limited to information relevant to the burden of proof and not recite or repeat information already submitted with the application. Any new information received by the board this evening will be entered into the record. However, the board retains the right to continue the public hearing to fully digest any information presented. All questioning of witnesses shall be done at the discretion of the chair. All questioning of witnesses shall occur when that witness is called. The proponent of the witness shall ask its questions. Interested parties shall then ask the witness their questions, and the proponent may then ask follow-up questions. Presentation of an affirmative case by any interested party other than the applicant will be allowed as part of the public hearing following the applicant's presentation. Continuation or closing of the public hearing is at the discretion of the zoning board. I need the approval of the minutes from the June 10th meeting. Before you do that, though, I noticed an error, minor error. Second page, 1 to 3rd paragraph. It simply says that Mr. Romano provided a summary of the application. It was actually Mr. Lasola made that presentation. So I'd like a motion to amend the minutes.
so moved.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, now I need a motion to approve the minutes with the amendment.
Motion to approve with the amendment.
Second,
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Marty, are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
Thank you. There is no continued business, so our first new business will be Margaret Leffert, 42 Governor Avenue. Those people going to do the presentation, please come forward while Marty gives us an application, a summary of the application.
The applicant is requesting a 3.5-foot front yard setback variance to construct a covered front porch and a 4.9-foot front yard setback variance to construct the porch stairs at 42 Governor Avenue pursuant to Section 260-33 variances and 260 Attachment 10 Schedule of Dimensional Regulations of the Town of Westerly zoning ordinance. The subject property contains 9,946 square feet, 0.23 acres, and has 99.54 feet of frontage on Governor Avenue. There are no wetlands on the property, and the lot is in the X flood zone. The lot is in the high-density residential 10 zone, HDR 10, and the surrounding neighborhood consists of HDR 10. The lot contains a 2,456 square foot single-family home, which was constructed in 1957. The second floor addition was constructed in 2023. Since the lot does not contain the required 10,000 square feet, the HDR 6 setbacks are applied. The applicant proposes to construct a 2-story garage addition and a covered front porch and stairs at 42 Governor Avenue, which will require the following dimensional relief. Front yard setback for the porch, variance 3.5 feet. Front yard setback for the stairs, variance 4.9 feet. The zoning department supports this application. The majority of the front face of the house is already within the front setback area, so almost any upgrades to the front of the house will require zoning relief. The covered front porch will only extend about 4 feet from the front of the house and will add visual appeal by breaking up the flat face of the existing house. The proposed garage addition will not require any dimensional relief. Both the garage and the front porch will provide protection from the weather and make it easier to access the house. The completed home will be in harmony with the surrounding area. When this application was submitted, the town was required to use the proportional method of setback reduction for substandard lots, which in this case would have amounted to less than 2 inches of relief. However, the town council recently passed a number of changes to the zoning ordinance, which allows the option for substandard lots to step down the dimensional requirements to the nearest zone that the lot complies with for lot area, in this case, HDR 6. So the project now requires less than relief than was publicly noticed, as the required front setback is reduced from 30 feet to 20 feet.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody on the board have any questions for Marty on this?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to confirm that the only thing we're discussing tonight is the front porch and the stairs.
Correct. The garage complies with all the dimensional requirements.
Thank you.
Okay, just so everybody heard that, we're only talking about the front porch and the stairs. Okay? All right. Excuse me one moment. How much paperwork? All right, and I assume you're making the presentation?
I am Kelly Fracassa, 85 Beach Street. I'll be representing the Lefflers tonight.
Okay, Kelly, thank you. You have a gentleman sitting with you. Will that gentleman be testifying?
Yes, he's Philip Leffler. The testimony is going to be very brief.
Okay, so I'm going to save time now and swear you in, okay? I need your name, address, and your, what you have to do with the application, your relationship here.
My name is Philip Leffert. I live at 42 Governor Avenue. I'm Margaret's husband. She owns the property.
Okay. All right, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You're all set. Would you like to start, Kelly?
Yes. Mr. Leffert, your wife took title to this property in 2022. Is that correct?
It is.
All right. And you reside in Florida, is that correct?
We do.
All right. And you're looking to renovate the property so that you can live up here year round, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And you're looking to have a front porch put on the house, correct?
Yes.
Right, and the dimensions are stated in the application. correct?
Yes.
Yes. Why do you want a front porch? No, strike that. Why do you need a front porch?
We need a front porch because our house faces due west. So in the evening, there's no place to get out of from the sun bearing down on us on our back patio. So it would be much nicer for us if we could sit in front of the house out of the sun.
All right, and you're familiar with the neighborhood where your house is located, is that correct?
Yes.
Right, and you've had occasion to observe the characteristics and attributes of houses in the neighborhood, is that right?
Yes.
Right, and do any of these other houses have front porches?
Of the 24 houses that are on Governor Avenue in front of my house down to Cove, 7 currently have front porches.
I have no further questions. I would like to introduce into the record, I only got into this very recently, so unfortunately I got introduced. to
That's fine.
Things. Exhibit 1 would be the vision tax card to Governor.
You might want to tell them.
He did.
And exhibit 2 would be the October 6, 2022 deed. This is Leffer.
Okay. Do you have only one copy of those? Okay. Okay. Does anybody on the board wish to see those? Well, let's pass it through, just so everybody can look quickly
I-
at all that. Go ahead, Dewan has a question in the meantime.
What would be the importance of the tax card?
The tax card simply shows that the property was, the house and the property was built in 1957, shows what the zoning is, and it also lists the date when the property was acquired by these folks.
Okay,
And
and why is that significant?
because it shows that the applicant did not create, could you please turn that thing off? The applicant did not create the situations which require the variance. The house was already built, so it was already, it was within the front yard setback, at least for a HDR 10 zone of 30
Okay,
feet.
and what would be the significance of the deed? Is that just showing that it was purchased last year?
Correct.
Okay.
The date it was purchased.
Okay, so essentially both exhibits establish that the house has been there in the same form or similar form since 1957,
Correct.
and that we purchased it last year as is.
In 2022,
in
correct.
In 2022, okay. Great, and no changes have been made since 2022?
Well, as a witness, have any changes been made to the house since 2022? In particular, the footprint.
Not to the footprint, no,
Okay, not on the outside,
no.
They added a second floor, but they just
within
went
the,
straight up.
within the, okay, thank you.
I just wanted to see it here because I'm looking in the back there. Everybody will get a chance to speak, okay? So we first have to hear everything and then we'll open it
Yeah.
up to the public. Here's those, do you have them? We'll pass it back. Need 'em. Okay, anybody else on the board have any questions for Kelly or anybody?
I have a question. That home, was renovated after you bought it, is that correct?
There was a second floor added to it, yes, on the same footprint.
Okay, thank you. Did you need any variances at that time?
No dimensional variances.
They received a variance because at the time, or it might have been a vertical modification, I can't remember, because it was in the same footprint, but they received dimensional relief.
They received the variances they needed.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a front porch on there now?
There's a stoop. I wouldn't call it a porch.
Okay, yeah,
It's
it's
the top of the
an
stairs.
entrance.
Yeah,
Okay, does it have a cover over it?
it does.
It does. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Do you have anything else that you want to talk to us about?
In just a very brief summary, and I'm just going to go down the elements of a dimensional variance in the statute. The hardship that they seek relief from is due to the unique characteristics of the subject land or the structure. Here, the house was built in 1957, and it's built within the 30-foot HDR 10 setback. And even when you do the HDR 6 setback, you still need relief. Hardship isn't the result of any prior action of the applicant. We've pretty much already discussed that. The granting of the relief won't alter the general character of the surrounding area, impair the intent or purpose of the zoning ordinance or the comprehensive plan. This is all residential property. The variance is for the construction for residential use, and front porches are a common attribute of houses in the area. Now we get to the hardship standard, which actually is a blend of the former least relief necessary along with the VD hardship standard. And it simply is that the relief requested is minimal to a reasonable enjoyment of the permitted use. Is a front porch reasonable for the enjoyment of a permitted use under this circumstance? That's certainly a call for the board, but I think it easily fits under that. Touches all the bases, and we ask that it be granted.
Okay. You're finished?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just call the public. All right, is there anybody in the audience right now who wants to come up and speak in favor of this application? Hmm? Well, we do have four letters that were submitted, but that's part of the packet. Okay? We have two letters submitted against this and two letters in favor of it. All right, then, do we have anybody in the public who wants to speak against this? We need your hand raised if you want to come up and speak against it. Okay, is there anybody here who wants more information? Oh, okay, I didn't see it. Come up, please. Over here, and speak clearly into the microphone. I'm sorry, I apologize, I didn't see your hand up. I need your name and address.
I'm Elizabeth Anderson. I live at 45 Governor Avenue in Westerly.
Okay. Talk to us.
I guess I'm hoping that you'll deny the variance. I think the road is very small. It's just big enough for two cars to pass. The house is, most of the lots are only 50 feet wide, and the house is already longer than that, wider than that. It sticks out 10 feet beyond the 30-foot setback now. There's kids that walk in the road, big kids ride bikes in the road. There's lots of cars. People park on the side. There's delivery trucks, grass mowing. People come all the time. And even today, there was a car parked in the front yard of the house. So I just don't think the road's big enough to accommodate. I think the setbacks are important, and you should give it serious consideration before you allow this.
What exactly are you speaking against? The front porch?
All three. I think there's already been enough variance, but the front porch will, yeah, bring it out even farther. So it'll probably be only 15 feet from the road.
Okay. Kelly, did you want to address that at all, or?
The front porch is only 4 feet wide, and it barely goes past the edge of the house, which is closest to the road anyway. It's tiny, it's minimal. Most of the objections that were offered to the board, the one by Ms. Anderson, regarded the garage. The garage is now off the table because we don't need relief for it. So all we're talking about is objecting to a front porch. I don't see how traffic in the road has any bearing on that whatsoever. Other than that, there's really nothing. So,
Did you want to add anything else?
I think the house is a little, being so wide and tall and is so close to the road, it's already out of character. There are very few windows in the porch in the front of the house. It almost looks like a cargo container in this area that's got little cottages and very modest houses. I just can't see going closer to the road at all.
Okay. Thank you for your input. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, could you stay up there a
I'm
moment,
sorry.
please?
First of all, thank you for coming forward. Very much appreciated. Just one question. Do you live in your property permanently?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And have lived there for a while?
About 20-something years.
Okay. And when you are, and it's a lovely neighborhood. I love that neighborhood. Is your front porch facing the golf course?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And you have a porch?
Yes.
Okay. And is it very hot in the evening when the sun comes across? Since you would be looking out at the golf course?
Oh, no, it's very comfortable. It's covered.
Okay, so the porch that's covered is comfortable even though the sun is coming at you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else wish to come up and speak against, I'll get you in a second, against this application? All right, now you will have to be called up for your, I think Mrs. Clifford wants to speak.
do you? Feel free.
Okay. Okay, you could go there or over here if one of these gentlemen want to give you their chair. Maybe, okay, it's up to you. I just need, again, for the record, your name and address, please.
My name is Margaret Leffert, and my address is 42 Governor Avenue. Yes, Governor Avenue gets congested with people parking very close to the road. Mrs. Anderson parks on Westerly property because there are trees in her yard and she can't pull her car in. The car that was parked on my front yard today was my daughter-in-law. We babysit every Wednesday and Thursday. We have plenty of front yard for her to be off of the Westerly property in our yard parking. There are no trees in the front. Because Governor is such a narrow street, many of the homes opposite my home park on the Westerly property, and they can't even get their cars into their yards because there's not enough frontage in front of their homes. So I just wanted to address that. My home, there's enough frontage. We have a driveway and we have enough frontage to pull a car in front of my home and get it off of the Westerly buffer. There's an Airbnb. I forget the number. I think it's 31. I have often driven down Governor, and I've wondered, if there's an emergency with these Airbnb cars there, how do they get through to my house? Because there isn't enough parking. That includes the residents of some of these homes and situation where there's an Airbnb. It's people who have driveways normally can pull a car, typically can pull the car, right off of Governor. And we happen to have a nice driveway. Thank you very much. That's all I wanted to speak about.
By the way,
Question?
just as an aside, got nothing to do with this, I have a similar problem where I live.
Yeah,
If you feel an emergency vehicle can't get through on a road, call the police department.
you know what? We're new to the neighborhood. And thank you for the suggestion. I will let my neighbors know that.
They're very responsive to that.
Okay, thank you.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
We have another, go ahead, Dawn.
I just wanted to ask, Philip had testified that it gets very hot on the back of your house.
Yes,
And Mrs. Anderson has noted that she has a covered porch that is looking at the golf course. I'm wondering if your back patio is covered.
our back patio is covered. We have screens.
Yep,
We're on the second floor. That's where our living space is, on the second floor. That's where our kitchen is. It's an upside down house when we put the addition on. Mrs. Anderson has trees on her front property, so
Yep.
they shade her porch.
yep.
It's the
agreed.
same direction, first floor.
Again, no, I just wanted to know if it was covered.
Yeah.
So the answer is that it is covered and it's screened in, but no trees. So you feel that you're getting the full heat and it's on the second floor and elevated where it would have a difficult time getting shade.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gentleman in the back had his hand up. Please come on. Although we are speaking those who are against it at this point, if you have anything you have to say, just let your hand go up so we can hear you. Again, your name and address, please.
My name's Jerry Gintoff, 46 Governor Avenue,
I'm sorry, one more time?
46 Governor Avenue,
Name,
Jerry Gintoff.
chair.
I had no intention of coming up here this evening until I heard the sunset. They have a closed-in porch in the backyard. My backyard is the golf course like theirs. And I had no intention of doing anything here, but just to listen what was going on here. And I heard the hardship of the sunset. If you take a look, they have a full deck up there, probably 14 by 14 with a covered roof. And there's enough setback that no sun gets there. That's the only reason I'm standing up here. Understand what Liz was saying. I had no intention of coming up here until I heard the hardship about sunset in the evening.
Okay, we want to hear from anybody,
Okay.
so.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Sir, could you
Sir?
come back up, please?
Sorry, I just didn't catch your last name again.
Gintoff, Gintoff.
Thank you.
Okay. Another hand up in the back. Please come forward. Again, feel free to speak up. As you see, we're not mean up here. We want to hear everybody.
Yeah, look
Pretty-
really scary. My name is Mindy Kaloje. I live at 44 Terrace Avenue. There is an empty lot behind my house. And then I look straight over at the house in question. I just have to say that the improvements that have been made to that property are a real enjoyment for us. I sit on the back deck a lot, except for in the evening or the late afternoon, because I will tell you, it gets unbearably hot with the sun blazing in. That's when we move to the front of the house to sit. So we have absolutely no problem with a front porch being added. And that's all I wanted to say is that I appreciate how hot it can get back there if you don't have a tree.
Okay.
I'm
thank-
sorry, one more time, last name.
Last name is Kolodziej, Kolodziej. It's a good Polish name.
Sure.
Anybody else on the
Okay,
board
thank
have
you.
a question, any questions for her? Nope. Anybody else? Go ahead. Okay. Anybody else in the audience wish to address this issue? Okay, anybody on the board have questions now for the applicant or his attorney? All right, then I'm going to poll the board to see how they feel on this issue. Okay, we're going to start over here.
I have no issues.
Okay,
I'm in favor of the application.
I gotta be honest, I'm on the fence.
Well-
And I want to embrace my new neighbors. It's more about the fact that if we start letting the front setback get invaded, that it happens on both sides. And I'm a little concerned about that. I lived in that neighborhood and loved it, and I really do love that, the house that you're in. So the thing that I find favorable about it is I do think that house needs front porch. I think it would make it much more attractive, because I do agree that it looks like just a container. So I guess I'm kind of on the fence.
Let me come back to you, Dawn.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm in favor of the proposal. It's only 4-foot variance. It's only 4 foot wide. And I really think it would improve the aesthetics of the property. That's where I am at this point.
Okay.
I feel the same as Alan.
Okay. I'm like doing a little bit on the fence. I want to just, Kelly, address the inconvenience. If we turn this down, is it a minor or a major inconvenience? You know, we have a back deck. I know I don't sit on my deck when the sun's out because of it. It's too hot. And I'm not sure where the inconvenience would be if we turn it down. So could you help me on that?
Sure. The inconvenience here doesn't have to be a major inconvenience. It simply has to be more than a mere inconvenience. And in order to fully enjoy your property, there are certainly going to be times, most of the time, when sitting in a covered porch in the back is going to be perfectly fine. There are other times when it's not. And so you're not going to be able to fully enjoy your property, at least on the outside of it. And so being able to sit on the opposite side, where you are in the shade in the evening, after, you know, work or maybe daily activities, whatever you happen to do during the day, in order for that to be reasonably comfortable, you need one on that side. Right now, you don't. And as far as and this kind of goes in with the least relief necessary, because that's now blended in the new hardship standard, as we were talking about before, we're talking 4 feet. Okay, that's less than I am tall, and that's not much. So it's not as if somebody's out there looking for a huge picnic table or TVs or anything like that. You're going to be able to fit a chair. That's it.
Let me ask you one last thing. Putting your chairs on the front lawn, wouldn't that accomplish the same thing?
No, because I think the lawn's a little bit different than a porch. A porch you can enjoy during inclement weather as well, because there is a roof over it. You can't do that out on the lawn. And I think that's very important.
Dawn, you want to, I'm going to go back to you.
You really want to change the front of that house.
You might need a variance. No.
That's kind of what would sell me on it. I just think that the neighborhood, you know, right now, when you're in the neighborhood and you drive down that street, that house just sticks out because it is just a solid front of wall. And that is a beautiful neighborhood. In my opinion, it has nowhere to go but up. The houses are going to be replaced. So what I'm most worried about is that there will be a series of variances that come in that are more than 4 feet. And this creates a lot of gray area, but.
Can I just say one thing about that? And it's
Yeah.
something which comes up before a lot of zoning boards.
Yeah.
That merely because one is granted under one circumstance, that it somehow causes a precedent.
Yeah.
That is not true. Each and every application that comes before you rests on its own facts. Any approval which you give has no precedential value whatsoever. And if you're presented with the same facts later on, or just a slight tweak to the facts, and you have a change of mind, you're free to do that. So I just wanted to dispel the idea that there is somehow precedential value. I know other zoning boards tackle with this issue, and I know of at least one other board in South County that tells everybody right off the bat, There is no precedential value to what we're having here because that's one of the big things about that a lot of objectors say. We don't want to set a precedent in the neighborhood. And that board says, you're not, and you're not here either. Don't know if that helps or not.
No, I hear what you're saying. Okay.
Dawn, I'm going to tell you this. I don't have a problem with the 4-foot porch. I have a problem with it being too close to the road. I really feel that way. So I am,
I just want to point out that it's close to the property line. There's still about 9 or 10 feet between the property line and the edge of pavement. So the face of the porch is probably going to be roughly 28 to 28 and a half feet from the edge of the road, not the property.
okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So we do have quite a bigger difference than I imagined. I was there, I looked at it and it looked awfully close, but yeah, I think I'm going to vote yes on this.
I will do it because I think that I will vote yes, but it's mostly because I think the front of the house needs to be changed. So I kind of wish that happened the first time, but it didn't. Okay.
Okay, in that case, I pulled the board, so we're going to need a motion to close this hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, then we are going to take a vote on this. Start. Well,
I approve this application.
okay, vote is yes.
I vote for approval.
I
Yes.
vote for approval. Dawn?
Yes.
I approve this application. I approve.
Okay, so you are all set. Enjoy your porch.
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot, we have to, we voted before she read the motion. I'm sorry, Kelly, please sit down. My fault, my cohort here is supposed to kick me if I do something. That was the table, it wasn't me. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, we have before us a request by the applicant, property owner Margaret Leffert, for a 3.5 front yard setback variance to construct a covered front porch and a 4.9 front yard setback variance to construct the porch stairs at 42 Governor Avenue pursuant to section 260-33 variances and 260 attachment 10 schedule of dimensional regulations of the town of Westerly zoning ordinance. The subject property contains 9,946 square feet or 0.23 acres and has 99.54 feet of frontage on Governor Avenue. There are no wetlands on the property and the lot is in the X flood zone. The lot is in the high-density residential 10 zone, HDR 10, and the surrounding neighborhood consists of HDR 10. The lot contains a 2,456 square foot single-family home, which was constructed in 1957. The second floor addition was constructed in 2023. Since the lot does not contain the required 10,000 square foot, the HDR 6 setbacks are applied. The zoning board held a public hearing concerning the application on August 12th, 2026. Zoning board members, Chairman Larry Chapa, Vice Chair Don Robinson, Larry Burns, Alan Martone, Lori Moore, and second alternate Stuart Miller were present and heard testimony during the entirety of the public hearing. No one was absent and no one recused. The zoning board was provided with a narrative by zoning official Martin Louisel dated August 11th, 2026, which outlined the details of the application and was also summarized by Mr. Louisel during the public hearing, thereby made a part of the record. The following individuals spoke as representatives and experts, if any, of the applicant: Kelly Fracassa, attorney, and Philip Leffert, husband of the owner of 42 Governor Avenue. The following individuals spoke during the hearing in support of the request: Mindy Kaloje of 44 Terrace Avenue, and there were 2 letters of support also provided with the package. The following individuals spoke during the public hearing in opposition to the request: Jerry Gintoff of 45 Governor Avenue, Elizabeth Anderson, 45, I think I got that wrong, Governor Avenue, is that correct? Both are 45 Governor Avenue? 46, okay, thank you, Jerry. And Margaret Leffert, 42 Governor Avenue. Spoke in favor, not against. There were also two letters that were submitted speaking in opposition to the application. At the public hearing, the following testimony and additional materials were entered into the record. Exhibit 1, 42 Governor Tax Card 1957, establishing that the house was built in 1957. Exhibit 2, October 6, 2022, deed of Margaret Leffert, also establishing that the house had a second floor addition in 2023. Mr. Chairman, through the public hearing process, the board heard the applicant's request for a dimensional variance and is based on the irregularity of the unusual characteristics of the property and the fact that the street is narrow and that the applicants would prefer to have some remediation from the elements as they move full-time to the area and live in the house full-time. The following plans and specifications are hereby made part of the approval and may not be altered, amended, or changed in any material way unless approved by the Westerly Zoning Board of Review. The determination of whether any alteration, amendment, or change in the approved plans is material shall be made by the town zoning official and the zoning board chairman. The zoning board hereby grants to the zoning official administrative authority to approve further non-material modifications to its approved plans. Site plan, zoning plan prepared by Margaret A. Leffert, 42 Governor Avenue, Plat 142, Lot 34, Westerly, Rhode Island, 02891. One sheet prepared by Daniel F. Harrington III, PLS, and stamped by Daniel Harrington, RIPLS number 1919, dated March 30th, 2026, and revised through May 26, 2026. Architectural plans prepared by Classic Design, 7 sheets dated April 10th, 2026. Considering the information presented at the public hearing, it is my opinion that the applicant has satisfied the standards of Section 260-33 variances, whereby the granting of the variance is due to the unique characteristics of the subject land or structure and not to the general characteristics of the surrounding area. And it is not due to the physical or economic disability of the applicant, accepting those physical disabilities addressed in 45-2430A16, because the structure was built in 1957 and has a unique lot in a high-density area. Is not the result, item 2, is not the result of any prior action by the applicant, and does not result primarily from the desire of the applicant to realize greater financial gain. In this case, the claimed hardship is that they want some space to get away from the sun in the evenings when they are getting a lot of heat and direct sunlight from the rear of the property. This will not alter the general character of the surrounding area or impair the intent or purpose of the zoning ordinance or the comprehensive plan upon which the ordinance is based, because 7 out of 24 properties on the street have covered porches, and other locations in the neighborhood also have covered porches in the front of their house. The hardship suffered by the owner of the subject property, if the dimensional variance is not granted, will amount to a more than mere inconvenience, meaning the relief sought is minimal to a reasonable enjoyment of the permitted use to which the property is proposed to be devoted. The fact that a use may be more profitable or that the structure may be more valuable after the relief is granted is not grounds for relief. Here, the use is a single-family dwelling, and it is a permitted use. In addition, the applicant has demonstrated that if the dimensional variance is not granted, denial would amount to a more inconvenience, because the house was built in 1957. The front of it does not have a good egress and exit that is covered from the weather. There will be more of an area in the front of the house to enjoy the house in the evening when it is warm in the summer, and to be covered in the weather, snow and rain, as they move to live full-time in the neighborhood. As such, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve a 3.5-foot front yard setback variance to construct a covered front porch and a 4.9 front yard setback variance to construct the porch stairs at 42 Governor Avenue, pursuant to section 260-33 variances and 260 attachment 10 schedule of dimensional regulations of the town of Westerly zoning ordinance. There are no conditions.
You have a second?
Excuse me. I think what we need to do before we go any further is rescind our previous approval, which was out of order.
Scott, do
So
we
I
need
would
to do that?
entertain a motion to do that.
No, you can just vote on this right now.
Right, that was an unofficial vote. It was
Okay,
more
I just wanna
falls
make sure.
into, yeah, my error.
Okay.
Okay, all those in favor?
Wait a second. We need
Whoop.
a second. We need a second. Who's
Oh,
going
we
to
can
second
get a
it?
second. Lori, okay.
Wow.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried now officially. Now I can say, enjoy your porch. And I hope all the neighbors there can get together for a big party.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Before I call the next one, does anybody need a break? Okay, we can take a 5-minute recess.
Much better. Thank you for asking. I had a mild case. I had a case similar to what your friend had the first time I had it. And I had an abscess. And it was horrible. This one was very mild. So, I ended up at the hospital with the pain, but it's been after 10 days. Yeah, that's so weird. I mean, she's eating all of a sudden she had one too many pieces. So I think you can put on the part of her. And then put it over. Person, she's my age. My mom had 3 feet of
Didn't Kelly just give up on the poor Seaport Studios? Set- Yeah. I represent.
Yeah. Really.
We said how much your DEM and went over everything with them before they issued that permit that we got in 2025. We had a.
Why are they entitled to file their own permit without notifying us to the?
They don't need to under the documents. They don't need to. I was kind of surprised. No. So that was what, and
So anyone that's a part owner, is it just them?
I have to, have you read these documents? They're very convoluted, and so I will not speak to them unless I've actually read them.
Okay, we're back in session now.
They don't need to ask. permission.
And the next application, I'm going to save a lot of words here. It's 8 Manatuck Avenue. Okay? And Marty, would you fill us in on this?
The applicant is requesting a 25.8-foot north side yard setback variance, a 15.1-foot east side yard setback variance, and a 4.6-foot building height variance to renovate the existing accessory structure, keeping the 3-car garage and expanding the existing roof to create more living area on the second floor, and to reduce the number of bedrooms to 1 at 8 Manatuck Avenue pursuant to section 260-33 variances and 260 Attachment 10, Schedule of Dimensional Regulations of the Town of Westerly zoning ordinance. The subject property contains 41,115 square feet, 0.94 acres, and has 297 feet of frontage on Manatuck Avenue. There are no wetlands on the property, and the lot is in the VE BFE 14 and AE BFE 12-foot flood zones. The lot is in the low-density residential 43 zone, LDR 43, and the surrounding neighborhood consists of LDR 43. The lot previously contained a 4,752 square foot single-family home, which was constructed in 1930 and was recently demolished. The zoning department supports this application. The property is an irregularly shaped triangular lot that abuts a coastal feature. The existing garage guest house was constructed in 1930, long before the current setback regulations were enacted. Due to the proximity of the structure to the property lines, any substantial renovations will require dimensional relief. The proposed renovations will not increase the current height of the structure, but will increase the usable square footage on the second floor. There will also be minor changes to the overall footprint of the structure and roof overhangs. The proposed changes are relatively modest in scope and will improve the appearance and overall functionality of the building. And the applicant's attorney provided a very thorough narrative that expounds on the requirements for a variance.
Did you have something else you needed to add, Marty? Did you need to add anything else? Okay, I thought you were. All right. You're going to be doing the presentation, right?
Yes,
All
yes,
right, I need you to give me, name and,
certainly. My name is Elizabeth Noonan. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Adler, Pollock and Sheehan in Providence, Rhode Island. And I represent the Brenda Winarski 2015 Family Trust dated 1/20/2015, which is the owner of the property. And Mr. Greg Winarski is here this evening. Sergio Terenzio is with me. He'll be my witness this evening. But briefly to follow up on what Marty said, we did go through the narrative in the application to you to address some of the standards. And as Sergio gives his presentation, I want you to think about, the hardship that the applicant is seeking is due to the unique features. And, Marty talks about that a bit. This is a triangular lot that's on the waterfront. And these properties were built in the 1930s before your zoning even came into effect. And this is just the small guest house that we're dealing with, not the main house, not the gazebo. And what we're looking to is we're going to keep the same use, which is the 3-car garage. Upstairs, we're going to eliminate one of the bedrooms. The footprint is almost essentially the same. And then, as I said, upstairs, there's going to be a little more volume, and the height is not changing at all. So you have the unique property, which is one of the standards.
The second standard, not the result of any prior acts of the applicant. Again, this was built in 1930. Some of you may know this was the property of the Bishop of Providence. The Roman Catholic Church owned it, and our clients purchased it in the last few years, but they've owned property and have been in Westerly for at least a decade, and want to be part of this community. So those are some of the key elements. We need some side, side variances and height variances, just because the existing structure does not fit under your zoning ordinances for this district right now. One of the benefits, which Sergio will talk about, is currently it's serviced by a cesspool, and that will be replaced with an OWTS. CRMC has obviously reviewed this property for the main house, has also reviewed it for this one, and has no issues with it. And Rhode Island Historic didn't provide any comments on this property. So that's essentially, we're looking for the relief to be able to renovate this existing guest house for the continued same use. That, I think I'll have Sergio do his presentation.
Sergio, we have to go through it, please, for the record, your name and relationship to the application.
Certainly. For the record, Sergio Trenzia, with Trenzia Associates offices at 99 Mechanic Street. My relationship to this project is I'm the site civil engineer. I'm a professional engineer licensed in the state of Rhode Island. The land survey and the engineered plans were prepared by my office and my responsible charge. The survey was prepared by my survey manager, Mark Castellanos.
And just for the record, we do recognize your expertise in your area.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Attorney
Sergio.
Noonan, why don't you go ahead and
Thank
begin?
you. I will, Mr. Chairman. Sergio, can you please describe what you were asked to do in regards to the guest house on this property?
Yes, we've been working with Greg, our client and the property owner, both for the main house and the guest house, but for this particular application and for this particular project was a renovation of the existing guest house.
And just so also for the board to look at, there's 3 variances that are requested: the north side yard, the east side yard, and the building height. And those are spelled out specifically in his report. So Sergio, can you just describe what's being proposed for this structure?
Certainly. I'm just going to bring up, share the screen. Let's see here if this comes up. Just have something to speak to with regard to the site plan. This was the survey that we prepared for the property. You can see the main house is the structure here, which is not the subject of this application, but just give your just to give the give you some point of reference for the site. To the south, to the west is Manatuck Ave. The property is accessed by the horseshoe driveway in this location in the northwest corner of the property. Off to the south and east is the coastal feature and a wall that runs on this this triangular portion. There's a wall here against the coastal feature, and then there's a smaller wetland up to the northeast. The site is completely developed with manicured lawn, landscape, and development up to that wall. So that really is the defining the edge of what we would consider the edge of the buffer, and then there'll be setbacks imposed from there, which we are clearing all of the coastal resources management setback requirements. The driveway runs along the northerly boundary to the garage where it's currently situated. As the property comes to that narrow point, so that's really the variances that we're requesting are because of the odd shape of the lot and the way that garage had been constructed and situated, which Ms. Noonan has identified as, before zoning, I believe the zoning official has identified. The proposed plan you can see, does not change that footprint substantially at all. It's relatively in that same footprint. The reason why we're seeking the dimensional relief is that mostly for the second story of that structure to be built out and be more usable space within the existing footprint of that structure. The site also benefits from an approved upgraded septic system. That was, you can see the tank here. Cesspool was in this general location, replaced with a tank, and that'll be pumped up to a leaching field further away from the coastal features and into the front yard. The main house is currently under construction. That received all of its permits. That has a upgraded septic system that was permitted and constructed prior to this, and we're just tying back into it. That is currently under construction, but this is also slated for renovation and subject of our application this evening.
Okay.
Sorry. I was gonna say, I do have the building plans here. I believe they're in your package. If you have any questions on those, I'll do my best to answer those, but I'm not the architect, but I can walk through those plans if need be.
Can you, just because of the orientation of the lot, can you address the variances that we need? First of all, there's no height, there is a height variance because what the requirement is for the zone is 20 feet and the existing is 24.6. So that's a 4.6 foot height relief that we need, but there's nothing that's being done to increase the height. It's just the existing structure. And then Sergio, can you point out the north side yard and the east side yard, both of which have 30-foot required side yard setbacks. The north, the proposed is 4.2, and the east side is 14.9. But again, the footprint is remaining essentially the same. So if you could just highlight the north and east side yards.
Certainly, I'm gonna zoom in here so we can see it, but you can see these setbacks offset from the side yards, 30-foot side here, and the same on the other side. And it's that awkward point where it comes to is really where that doesn't leave us much of a building envelope in this area. And the building is, as we have noted, is already there and is going to remain in the same location. And you can see to the north, this would be the north side, you have the closest point is the 4.2. And then I believe on the rear, it's the other side. The rear actually comes to a point, is the 14.9 distance on this side here.
If there's any other questions for
Does
Sergio.
anybody have any questions for the presenters here? No. All right, is anybody?
I was just going to wrap up the standards.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, on the standards, we've outlined it in our narrative that we submitted that Marty referred to. We appreciate the positive recommendation or support of Marty for this application. But under the standards, it's the hardship from which the applicant seeks relief is due to the unique characteristics of the subject land. And again, as we've pointed out, this is an irregularly shaped triangular lot on a coastal feature. With the pre-existing, accessory structures going back to the 1930s. On the hardship's not the result of any prior action of the applicant. The existing structure was built in 1930 prior to the enactment of the State Zoning Enabling Act, and of course, prior to the Winarski's ownership of the property, and they haven't taken any actions to change or alter anything on the dimensions of the guest house at this point in time. So we believe that our proposal reflects and represents a good faith effort to preserve and improve an existing lawful structure in a manner that's more consistent with the dimensional intent of the ordinance while respecting the unique physical limitations of the property. Third requirement, that the granting of the variance will not alter the general character of the area. Again, there's no change in the existing use of the structure, and in fact, we are reducing it to a single family, a one bedroom instead of a two bedroom, and the 3-car garage. The property is still primarily a single family residential use. And then that the hardship suffered by the owner of the subject property, if it's not granted, amounts to more than a mere inconvenience. Again, this is an existing structure. They're attempting to renovate it historically sensitive within the footprint. Again, not changing the footprint, not changing the height, taking it a little bit out on the second floor. I believe there's a dormer being added and a covered porch, just to give it a, a little more feel of what a guest cottage would be that we'd probably all want to stay in. So that's the goal there. And so we believe, look, based at the standards that are in the state and local ordinance, that we've met those standards, and we would ask for your approval on this application.
Okay, are you complete now?
I am.
Okay. Is anybody in the audience wish to speak in favor of this? Anybody in the audience wish to speak against this? Please step forward, sir. I ask you to clearly state your name and address.
Brian Lash, 19-23 Ocean View Highway, Westerly.
Okay, let us know what you want to say.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for your service. As a new career, I am now a real estate developer, so I've been before many boards like yours and had late evenings like this. And recently applied for and received a variance for a project I was doing, and also recently applied for and was not given a variance for something I was working on. So I'm familiar with the process. I am the only residential abutter to Mr. Winarski, who I have not met yet. And Sergio I've met because he worked on a project for me at my home. I have some questions because this is the first I'm ever hearing about this request for a variance. And as the only abutter, I would have loved to had a conversation with my new neighbor and his counsel, because I'm a reasonable guy, as Sergio knows. But I have to come here tonight because, as I said, this is all new to me. So Sergio, you did say something very,
Yeah, so you should be addressing the chair.
I'm sorry. Well,
And then we will let Sergio or whoever you want answer it. Okay?
sure. Sergio said that the footprint of the garage is not changing substantially at all. Can you ask Sergio what substantially not at all means? And can we see that new diagram with the old diagram of the actual standing garage today? Because I think it is changing.
Okay, Sergio, would you like to answer that question?
While he pulls that up, I just want to say that
Sure, go ahead.
I believe notice was sent, and it should have had, if not my address, at least a way to contact us. And regret that you should have gotten that notice and an opportunity to.
No, unfortunately, I did not.
Is he on the abutter list?
He is.
Yeah. Okay.
So my question is the footprint changing or not?
Sergio is actually looking through his computer so he can answer that. Okay, he's putting it up.
Thank you.
So I brought up the architectural plans, which I alluded to previously, if we needed to go over them. You can see that the existing footprint is in the black line, and the red one is the proposed footprint. I'm sorry, the red identifies, the extent of the footprint, and then the dashed lines, I believe, are the overhangs of the additional of the second floor. So you can see the existing garage level on the left here, and then the proposed garage level over on this side, and then the red is overlaid of the existing over the proposed. Is that clear there?
Sir?
So the red lines is the new garage and the black lines are the old garage.
The red line on the left is the existing garage level. That is then superimposed over, I believe, this side, which is the proposed level. You can see they're substantially the same.
If I might, in our narrative, we have some set forth in item number 1 on page 2 for the north left side setback. We've indicated that the proposed renovations substantially remain within the existing footprint of the structure and reduce the degree of nonconformity a bit by the setbacks increased by, I believe, 5, so it goes from 3.7 to 4.2. So that's a small increase to the footprint and a request for the setback relief. And then the other one, there is a 0.1 foot decrease to the existing east side setback where it had been 15 feet, and we're proposing 14.9, so it's going down on the east right side setback. That's why we essentially say there's no change in the footprint, or it's relatively de minimis.
Okay, does that answer your question, sir?
I'm sorry, but not entirely. The council is speaking too quickly for me. The upper left-hand diagram shows a red line that I think is an expansion to the garage. Upper left-hand side, upper right of that diagram, if you put the cursor on it,
The garage.
I keep hearing that there's no substantial change to the footprint. What is the exact change? What is getting larger is my question. Like, is that right-hand corner there on the left-hand, upper left-hand part of the screen, is that all a new addition?
This one here or this?
No, to your left, Sergio, and straight up with the cursor, please. Straight up and
This
to your
is
right now.
This is the existing garage level.
Okay.
This is what is there now. And this is what they're proposing. This is the proposed garage level.
May I? Or may I?
Go ahead, Dawn, please.
So on the left drawing, on the upper right corner, there's a space with nothing. Right?
Right corner here.
Yep. Is that,
That's an open porch.
that's an open porch now?
Now, yeah.
Now it's an open porch. So in the one right next to it, I can see the stairs have moved. I can see that we've gotten rid of a bathroom, like I can see all that.
Mhm.
And that's the bottom floor, right? That's the entry, that's our bottom floor, correct?
This is
Garage level, yeah.
garage level, yeah.
Okay. So it looks like something is moving over to the right-hand side and the covered porch is being no longer covered. Is that correct?
It's being, it's enclosed.
It's being enclosed.
Yeah.
Portion of it, yes.
So.
You can see the stair, this is still
Thing
open.
is not changing, it's just the way that it's organized. Is that correct? Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
My other question is regarding the height. I read in the a notice that I received that my neighbor is looking for a variance on the height of the building. A variance to go up or variance, it's variance to go
That
up.
would be height, yeah.
It's to go up 4 feet.
Why don't we let Sergio, if it's all right? Or you're going to address that? Explain the height to him.
Certainly. In this zone, it is a 20-foot height maximum for accessory structures. What is existing is 24.6 feet. And what we're asking for is a variance to make up the difference between what is the required 20 feet and what currently exists at 24.6 to make the existing building compliant with the ordinance by getting this dimensional relief. There is nothing physically being done to alter the height. It is rather a legal request that we're asking you to grant us the variance for this building that was built before these height restrictions even existed, to conform. And I think as the zoning official has recognized, there is nothing being added to the height. It's merely to conform legally the ordinance to the existing structure, but
Right.
nothing, the height.
So if I hear you right, you're saying there is no physical increase in the height of the building.
Absolutely not.
All right, you're just looking for a legal thing to,
Any construction above the 20-foot mark is going to require relief.
yeah.
Even if it's at or below the existing building.
I just wanted to make sure we clarify that. You're not going up any higher than it is now.
Grant, if we went to build a brand new one today and we wanted it to be 24.6, that would be a different discussion.
Right. Okay, sir, does that answer your question on that?
Yes, it does. And
Okay.
that's a great answer. Because obviously I'm concerned about my view corridor I'm concerned about drainage. I'm concerned about the degradation of property values, particularly mine, if this were different than what I've seen. With that said, you are going to enclose a current porch and make it part of the living area or access to the living area for this structure.
I believe it's covering up the site. Yes, covering
Yes.
in the site.
Okay,
Is that the side that faces my home, or is that the side that faces the ocean or Manatuck?
So the side is on the south, which faces the coastal feature that is being enclosed. It's in the southwest, or excuse me, southeast corner of the building.
okay.
Can you, Sergio, do you have a concept of where his house is on the other side of that?
I can pull that up.
Yeah.
Just have to change screens.
For instance, is my property line to the left? Oh,
Here,
okay.
up here.
Does this help? Garage is here. The addition, the enclosed area of the porch will be on this side, which is the south side.
Yep.
And Mr. Lash's property is to the north.
And the house is further over on this picture to the right.
Which house are you referring to?
His house is over to the right.
Mr. Lash's house
Yes,
is
correct.
up here. I don't know if you can see my arrow. It's up to the northeast.
Great, thank you. Appreciate it.
Sir, do you have any other questions you need?
So I just want to ascertain that what I'm looking at tonight when I go home, that building is not moving. They're not adding anything to the north of the building. They're not asking for any further, they're not asking to be closer to my property line. Is that true or not?
The footprint of the building is not changing aside from those rather de minimis changes that we said. The covered porch, and then on the second floor, I believe a dormer is being added on the second floor. But again, no change to the height, no movement of that structure.
Okay. Yeah, that satisfies my questions. Can I confer with my ex-wife, please?
Please, yeah, sure.
I will not oppose this,
Thank you, sir.
but in the future, got to come over with a bottle of wine, say hello. I'm a decent guy. When I go for variances, I go and meet all the neighbors, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but thank you, everybody, for your time. Good luck with your project. And thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody else who wishes to come up and speak for or against or need more information? Anybody on the board need any more information? Any questions? All right, I'm going to poll the board here and see, we'll start here.
I'm in favor. I'm also in favor.
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor.
Also in favor.
And I agree with my colleagues. So, we have to. I just didn't want to make sure I didn't get kicked this time. Okay. Okay, so I need a motion to close the hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And I am going to turn it over to Alan.
Mr. Chairman, we have before us a request by the applicant, property owner Greg Wisniewski, trustee of Brenda Winarski, 2015 Family Trust dated 1/20/2015 for a 25.8 north side setback variance, a 15.1 east side setback, and a 4.6 building height variance to renovate the existing auxiliary structure, keeping a three-car garage and expanding the existing roof to create more living area on the second floor and to reduce the number of bedrooms to one at 8 Montauk Avenue pursuant to section 260-33 variances and 260 attachment 10 schedule dimensional regulations of the Town of Westerly zoning ordinance. The subject property contains 41,115 square feet or 0.94 acres and has 297 feet of frontage on Montauk Avenue. There are no wetlands on the property, and the portions of the lot are in the VE, BFE 14-foot and AE, BFE 12-foot flood zones. The subject structure is not in a flood zone. The lot is in a low-density residential 43 zone, LDR 43, and the surrounding neighborhood consists of LDR 43. The lot previously contained a 4,752 square foot single-family home, which was constructed in 1930 and has recently been demolished. The zoning board held a public hearing concerning the application on August 12th, 2026. The zoning board members, Chairman Lawrence Chapa, Vice Chair Dawn Robinson, Larry Burns, Alan Martone, Laurie Moore, and second alternate Stuart Miller were present and heard testimony during the entirety of the public hearing. The zoning board was provided with a narrative by zoning official Martin Loisel dated August 6, 2026, which outlined the details of the application and was summarized by Mr. Loisel during the public hearing, thereby made part of the record. The following individuals spoke as representatives and experts, if any, of the applicant. Attorney Elizabeth Noonan, who is the attorney for the Greg Wisniewski, trustee of the Brenda Wisniewski 2015 Family Trust, and Sergio Presenja, certified engineer. The following individuals spoke at the public hearing in support of the request. There were none. And the following individuals spoke at the public hearing in opposition to request, and I need the gentleman's name.
Sir, the gentleman who spoke here at the, Brian Lash.
Brian Lash.
We're good.
Thank you. At the public hearing, the following testimony and additional materials were entered into the record. There are no additional materials submitted. Mr. Chairman, through the public hearing process, the board heard the applicant's request for a dimensional variance based on the desire to update a three-car garage and living quarters on the second floor. The following plans and specifications are hereby made part of this approval and may not be altered, amended, or changed in any material way unless approved by the Westerly Zoning Board of Review. The determination of whether any alteration, amendment, or change in the approved plans is material shall be made by the town zoning official and the zoning board chairman. The zoning board hereby grants to the zoning official administrative authority to approve further non-material modifications to its approved plans. The site plan, the garage alteration at 8 Montauk Avenue, plat 180, lot 26, Westerly, Rhode Island, one sheet prepared by Sharenza and Associates LTD and stamped by Sergio F. Sharenza, PE number 9238, dated March 2nd, 2026, and revised through June 29th, 2026. Considering the information presented at the public hearing, it is my opinion that the applicant has satisfied the standards of section 260-33 variances, whereby the granting of the variance is due to the unique characteristics of the subject land or structure and is not to the general characteristics of the surrounding area and is not due to any physical or economic disability of the applicant, excepting those physical disabilities addressed in section 45-2430A16, because although the lot is of substantial size, which is 0.94 acres, has an irregular shape. The structure to be renovated is now in a non-compliant area, but it was constructed in 1930. It is not the result of any prior action of the applicant and does not result primarily from the desire of the applicant to realize greater financial gain. In this case, the claimed hardship is the need to update the existing garage and living space to enhance the full enjoyment of the property. It will not alter the general character of the surrounding area or impair the intent or purpose of the zoning ordinance or the comprehensive plan upon which the ordinance is based, because it will not have any major impact on the existing footprint. It will be in line with other properties in the neighborhood. The hardship suffered by the owner of the subject property, if the dimensional variance is not granted, will amount to more than a mere inconvenience, meaning that relief sought is minimal to the reasonable enjoyment of the permitted use to which the property is proposed to be devoted. The fact that the use may be more profitable or that a structure may be more valuable after the relief is granted is not grounds for relief. Here, the use is a guest house / garage, and it is a permitted use. In addition, the applicant has demonstrated that if the dimensional variance is not granted, denial would amount to more than a mere inconvenience, because the existing garage and guest house was built in 1930. The applicant seeks to improve the functionality of this structure. As such, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve a 25.8 north side yard setback variance, a 15.1 east side yard setback variance, and a 4.6 building height variance to renovate the existing auxiliary structure, keeping the 3-car garage and expanding the existing roof to create more living area on the second floor, and to reduce the number of bedrooms to 1 at 8 Montauk Avenue, pursuant to section 260-33 variances and 260 attachment 10 schedule of dimensional regulations of the Town of Westerly ordinance. There are no conditions for this approval.
We have a second.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Good. Marty, I see there's nothing on the completed list, so there's no,
No, there'll be
meeting next month.
no meeting in September.
Okay, do you have anything else you need to address?
No, no more issues.
Okay, I just want to say that you guys are going to have to put up with me for a little longer, because I was reappointed to another term. I don't know, I might hold the record of the oldest person ever appointed. I don't know.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I heard, you take a deep sigh of relief. Yeah, okay. All right, I needed a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded. Okay, carried. Have a nice, month off.